So we're really lucky here in the Chicago region to have lots and lots of different types of data at a regional scale. And it's not luck, it's a lot of hard work that lots of people have done. And one of those is the GIV. I'm just going to talk about a few other ones and how we might use those going forward to really understand more about our urban forest at a variety of scales. So one thing I often yell at the GIV people about is that in this map, which is the original plan of Chicago map, but also in their current maps, there's no green in between the green spaces. But we all know there is. There's urban forests. This is what we've been talking about all day today. There's trees. A lot of the tree canopy, especially here in the Chicago region, is in those urban areas. And we need to know more about where that canopy is and what makes up that canopy. And we need to understand that at multiple scales. So we're talking about a regional scale. We have lots of good regional scale data, but all the management decisions are made at site and municipal scales, as I just said. But there's lots of reasons we want to know things at municipal scales. So we want to assess vulnerabilities and plan for adaptation, like we're talking about with the climate change response frameworks. We also want to be able to quantify benefits and identify underserved communities. So the iTree system gives us a really good idea of the benefits associated with our forest at a regional scale. But that doesn't tell us at a municipal scale or some other smaller scale where the investments should be made. And Dave's group is doing a lot to do a better job of focusing in on places where we need to invest more at a site scale or municipal scale. I'm going to skip to, so the resources we have. So we have this Chicago region tree census that was done by the Forest Service and the Arboretum. Lots and lots of plots. So we have this really good data set for the region that we've pumped into iTree Eco to get all this information about, we have 157 million trees, they're these species, they provide this much benefits. We have lots of good information on that, and then what species are at risk to pests. We're also doing a regional urban tree canopy assessment, so of super fine scale, where are there trees and where is tree canopy and where are there plantable spaces. And this has happened in a bunch of cities around the country. This is becoming a lot more common. But it's really rare to have both an iTree data set and also an urban tree canopy data set. There are a few other places. There aren't any places that have it at a large regional scale. We're doing this for the full 7 county regions so that we can assess this huge metropolitan region that we have. And it gives you this really fine scale view of where tree canopy is and where there's plantable spaces, such as the football field behind the high school. Maybe we won't plant trees there, but it gives you a sense of where the tree canopy is. But we also need to understand fine scale composition, and this is something we need to work on more, is to be able to understand what trees are growing, what all those trees are in the landscape. But you can see these are the iTree plots. There's only 2 trees in this whole part of, in all of Oak Park, which is the suburb that I live in. And so we don't know what all these other trees are, but we can make some guesses, and we can collect all the data that we have and try and get a better sense of, at a municipal scale, what is the total tree population and what is the total tree canopy, and then how vulnerable going forward will that composition and that canopy be. I'm just going to skip over. So we want to know all this so that we can estimate urban forest composition at a variety of scales, including the scales where management decisions are being made. And then we can use that information to do scenario modeling. So the idea is to model scenarios of future climate change, a range of scenarios. As you've seen a lot of people talking about today, there's all these different scenarios out there. What we want to know is how will those specific scenarios of climate change or pest outbreaks or development and different combinations of those things, how are they likely to affect the composition, value, structure of the regional forest? And then how the benefits associated with it then change in the future.